Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to today's video. No trade day for me. Overall, I think the market was pretty boring. A lot of the stocks were in a pretty bad price range. Not a lot of range between sort of like support and resistance areas. So I just didn't really like anything today. And my motto is, if you don't really like anything, then just don't trade it. Certainly, could you have made money today? Of course you could. You could have lost money. There were some very, very small opportunities if you got in quick and early on them, but there was nothing really, there wasn't an A quality setup. There wasn't like this home run potential. It was just basically, in my opinion, like a 50-50 day. And yeah, as I said, certainly could have been green. I had a spot where I was thinking of getting in on two stocks, on OTLK and BIOC, and they both would have worked out, but I just didn't really like them. So we're going to talk quickly about those spots in today's video. But yeah, overall, we'll just be back at it tomorrow. No trades today. It's no big deal. And the good thing is we haven't lost any money. Well, actually, we are down $4 because I allocated shares on BIOC, 200 shares. So we're down $4. It's basically nothing on the day. So the stocks that are moving today, you see here, the main one that's gapping up this morning was JMU. And JMU had resistance. I'll just bring this up quickly here. That's OTLK, but you bring up JMU. Marked out this 213 area, which come into play today, and you just see it was basically this gap fill area here. You see how this gapped from this close price here at 213, and you see the green at the top, and you see how it opened here at basically 189. So it gapped down. It actually had a high of 212, so it basically covered it, but I still think that's a valid area because it hasn't actually filled the gap, even if it was 1 cent. And you see where it got to actually at the open. It's just sold off again now, but you see where it got to at the open today. I'll show you here. You see how it literally crossed that 213, that gap through area, and then we got that hard rejection. I was looking at the gates for a potential washout long on this. This was actually one thing I was looking for. If I go back to my Trade Zero account, because I saw it was up around this $2, 205 area. The VWAP was right down about 175, so it's like a 30-cent drop. I thought if it went down to the VWAP, if it's going to show properly. Problem is this VWAP just doesn't show correctly all the time. Probably show better here. You see how, here we go. You see how just before the market opens we're about 207. You see the VWAP here is at basically 180, so about a 27-cent drop. If it dropped down to the VWAP, I would have got a washout long, basically bounce off that VWAP to sell into a pop, but that didn't happen. It broke. I wasn't too keen on allocating shares I allocated no shares for JMU. I wasn't really keen on this area. If it maybe failed and retested it again, then I would have got in short, certainly. I would have got shares, but you see how it pretty much hit that area and then just faded off straight away, and that was been it. But that would have been a decent little move there if you managed to capture that. But the other ones, as you see, I'll show you in this phase. OTLK actually made a big move up after hours and basically after hours. You see how it went to basically a high of 418. But anyway, what happened was once again, as yesterday, we took a play on this at the $315 area yesterday, and you see how once again that 315 come into play today. That 315 was a gap fill on the daily chart, and you can see how it pretty much come in perfect today. So once again, didn't take anything out of the gates, even when it pushed and sold off. Didn't take nothing there. But I was thinking of the retest. We see how out of nowhere it just made this big, what's that? That's a low of, I say big. It made a 30-cent move. What's a 10% move? And then obviously gets halted. When it gets halted, I was getting interested. I wanted to open up higher, use that 315 to obviously sell off, and then and play it off then. And I was hesitant, but I was just looking at this. I marked out this area here. This 285 was just a big support area, and actually come into play again there. And then even 272. So, yes, I could have got 20 cents from it, but I just didn't like the range, and I actually didn't like the way it moved as a stock. So I just didn't play it. You can just see, it's just certainly, yes, there's something there. You can play it, but overall I didn't like it. And BIOC was the last one. I think I got a bit trigger happy in allocating shares for this because I don't think it's a good one. But basically, you see here, we've got this nice gap here, closed at 203. So this gap has now been filled. And I could see a potential move down to 171. Once again, it's only a 30-cent move. But this moved a bit slower, a little bit more, well, at the time it was a little bit more predictable, but then it started to get really sideways, choppy. But what actually happened was, you see this 203 comes into play, it just kept holding it. When it broke through here, I thought that might be it. And that's when I allocated shares, and you can see there was nothing else. This was like 9:45, nothing else was happening. It broke above. We got this big resistance at 210, so I was thinking of taking a short here. Basically, I could have got it filled at 207. I could have got filled at 207. Risk actually, well, let's say 205. Only risking 5 cents off that 210 for potential down to that 171 area. It went down to pretty much the low here of 182, so we could have got about 20 cents on that, and it actually did happen to touch so many times and then finally break, and now it's back up to 203. But once again, it's not really fast moving, bit of a high float, not really much range, and you can just get the gist of today. It was basically just a rubbish day. So that's it. We're going to be back tomorrow. As I said, we've won, I guess, today because we didn't take a trade, and we pretty much didn't lose any money. So we'll be back at it tomorrow. Hopefully some good runs, and I'll see you guys then. Take care. Bye bye.